Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll show you a horror film, Eli. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. Eli was healthy and active before he was 8. Then, he suddenly got a strange disease with allergic reactions to the outdoors. When he was exposed to the air, he would have difficulty breathing, and the whole body would be swollen. He could only be isolated all day, and wear special protective gear when going out. Various treatments have been tried on him by far, but to no avail. One day, Eli's mother finds a special hospital to treat Eli's disease. Though Eli is reluctant to go, mother assures him that he will be cured this time. The hospital looks weird. It is a rather dilapidated castle, and locates in misty woods. All people in and out must be strictly disinfected. The doctor receives the family, and tells them they will use some kind of gene therapy to correct Eli's defect immune system. However, Eli doubts it a little bit, and want to make sure whether they have cured all the patients, which seems to irritate the doctor. But she tries to control herself and forces a smile, telling Eli they'll be sure to make him better. Since the air and water are strictly purified in that hospital, Eli can take off his protective suit and breathe and play freely. Mom is very excited about that. She then holds Eli tightly in her arms. But Eli's stepfather stays surprisingly calm, while a sly smile shows on the doctor's face. After moving into a single room, Eli keeps hearing strange noises. It seems that someone is breathing onto the glass, making it wet with moisture. A handprint suddenly appears on the glass. Eli is so scared that he rushes to his mother. The doctor, however, counts it for Eli's hallucination, due to the side effect of the drugs he took. Soon, Eli began the first stage of treatment. His hands and feet are tied to the operating table. The doctor explains the disease is caused by a genetic defect, but its symptoms won't appear until a certain age. So they need to inject some kind of virus into his bone marrow that can help repair his genetic defects and restart the immune system. Eli has to accept the genetic treatment obediently. As a hole is made in the bone and the injection is done, Eli soon falls into a coma. When he wakes up again, he is obviously much weaker. He comes to the window, and suddenly the glass is hit by a small stone. He looks outside, and sees a little girl downstairs. The girl's name is Haley, and she lives not far away. She seems familiar with things in the house. She asks Eli if he's told by those people that he's sick and allergic to the world. When the girl learns Eli's name, she tells him she doesn't like it, because Eli means my God in the Bible. Later, Eli finds it unbelievable that the girl can even light a branch with her mind, so he wants to invite the girl inside, but gets refused. The girl tells him it's horrible there, and the doctor hates her. Then she turns around and leaves. Eli is puzzled a lot by her words. Shortly after, in this castle-like hospital, little Eli keeps seeing all kinds of strange things. While he's wandering, the figure of a little girl flashes suddenly, and approaches him. He turns around, but only to find a ghost with long hair, standing at the door. In horror, Eli tries to run away, but the ghost pounces on him, and he falls to the ground. There seemed to be a larger ferocious demon behind the curtain. Later, Eli tells his parents about what he has encountered in the weird house. However, they believe Eli is merely hallucinating. At night, the wardrobe door is creaked open, and apparently someone is hidden behind the curtain. Trembling in fear, Eli approaches the curtain and pulls it up, but no one is there. Eli breathes onto the window, and writes down his name Eli. But soon he's horrified to see the word Eli turns into lie. In the mirror, Eli sees a girl dressed in shabby clothes, but when he turns around, he doesn't see anyone there. Suddenly, Eli is grabbed and dragged out by an invisible force. He screams for help. The parents quickly arrive, to find nothing else but Eli alone screaming in hysteria. The doctor claims that this is just the drug reaction, so the mom requests her to lower the dosage, but the dad persuades her not to interfere with the doctor's treatment. The doctor explains that the treatment can produce huge side effects, which will increase as the treatment stage moves further, but they have to persevere and pull through this process. Soon comes Eli's second stage of treatment. With harsh drilling sounds, waking brain surgery is conducted on Eli to push the stem cell through the blood-brain barrier. When Eli wakes up, he tells his parents that doctor is sneaky. Feeling that his health is getting worse due to the treatment, Eli pleads with his parents to leave the hospital. Mom tries to console him, but his hot-tempered stepdad burst into anger, telling him that he could only choose either to wear the protective gear for his whole life, or just stay behind to receive the treatment once for all. Hearing that, Eli doesn't utter a word. As he chooses to stay, his body becomes weaker, and he suffers nose bleeding very often. Meanwhile, he encounters more supernatural phenomena at night. Once a ghost is leaping towards him, Eli quickly jumps into the wardrobe, and the wardrobe is overturned. Only at that time, he's shocked to find some chalk writing of the word Eli and lie on it. Though he tries to explain that, everyone just regards it as his hallucination, and blames that for the drug side effects. Eli is very upset by that. One night, the girl visits Eli again. Eli tells her this house is haunted. Much to his shock, the girl says the previous patients living there also saw some ghosts. Eli finds it weird, because the doctor tells him others have never seen any ghost here. The girl challenges him that he can't really trust the doctor. Struggling to stand up, Eli says he would rather choose to leave this ghost damn place with the protective gear. However, at that moment, lights in the hallway begin to flicker. Eli is grabbed by an unknown force, and dragged directly to the disinfection room. The room door flings open. Frightened, Eli covers his nose with his clothes. Eli's face becomes swollen after being rescued. Eli shouts at the doctor, saying she is full of lies, for she denies the ghosts were also haunting other patients here. In anger, Eli hits the glass on the wall, but faints down. As always, the doctor explains that such a treatment side effect is not as expected. His brain is fighting hard against the virus, which caused his hallucination, and he needs to take sleeping pills and gets ready for the last stage of treatment. This time, however, Eli doesn't swallow the pills, but hides them under his tongue before pretending to fall asleep. At that time, the word lie on the wardrobe appears to him as 317. The doctor later burns Eli's protective gear, for she knows that Eli will not use it anymore. The next day, the girl comes to visit him again. Eli asks her what the previous patients said about the ghost, and whether the ghost is here, trying to help them or harm them. But the girl also has no idea. They also talk about the word lie upside down, can be read as 317. The girl says that might be the password to a certain room. Eli is bizarre, asks how she can know it, but the girl just shrugs it off. Holding a flashlight, Eli starts searching late at night, and finds a coded lock to a door. As he inputs the password 317, the door opens surprisingly. He then searches further, and checks inside carefully. While learning from the husband that the final treatment would be dangerous to Eli's life, the mom is upset, thinking she's been hidden from some secrets. They fall into a quarrel as to whether they should keep the treatment on Eli. Under depression, the mom wants to pack up all her stuff, and take Eli away from the traumatized treatment. But she's stopped by the coming doctor, who persuades her that no blind love could even save her poor son if she just gives up halfway. With no other choice, the mom has to stay down. On the other side, Eli finds from a drawer the profiles of 3 patients, showing that they were all weakened by the treatment, and turned into monster-like creatures in the final treatment. He's so scared to see that, and rushes back to find his stepdad, telling him that they need to stop now and leave, for all patients have died at the final treatment stage. The father, however, tries to calm him down, and gives him a tranquilizer shot on his arm. Shortly after, the nurses drag the poor boy away, although he's struggling and screaming that they will kill all of the patients. However, the tranquilizer seems to have no effect on him. They are all distracted by a sudden blast to a car outside. Right then, Eli takes the chance to get rid of the nurses, and races to take the patient files in the drawer, but nothing is there anymore. He then screams that they must have hidden the files elsewhere, and killed all the patients with the brutal experiments. Later, Eli flees to a room where he finds a photo, which to his shock, shows that the doctor and the 2 nurses are actually the nuns. He keeps searching, and comes to a door leading to the basement, where the air seems to have not been filtered yet. With his noses covered up, he searches down and reaches a cellar, where he sees a cross, a dagger, and a big well with its cover on. The doctor follows up soon and locks Eli inside, explaining to the parents that Eli's body could only be taken control of in that way. Without better choice, they have to obey the doctor's instructions. While Eli is left behind, struggling to breathe, but losing his consciousness soon. However, while waking up again, he finds himself able to breathe as normal. He screams out loud, trying to tell his mom and dad he can breathe as normal, and he's not sick. Mom hears his screams, and is determined to check her desperate son, despite being stopped by her husband and the doctor. Mom then comes to the cellar, apologizes to her silent son that they've lied to him. He's never allergic to the outside world, but they have to make him believe in that way, so as to protect him. Mom promises that as long as he gets through the final treatment, she will tell him all the truth. Right then the silent son faints down, and the nervous mom goes inside to check him. However, Eli is pretending that, taking a chance to knock her mom out with a cross, and flees out of the cellar immediately. He then hides in a room, begins to smash the windows, while the dad and the doctor follow up and try hard to crush the door. The little girl shows up right then, and gives Eli encouragement to escape from the house. On the other hand, after waking up, mom pushes the cover away and is terrified to find 3 dead bodies inside the well. While Eli has been taken control by his bad and confined to the operating table, the wife threatens the doctor with a dagger and comes inside. In rage, she challenges the doctor that they are gonna kill her son, for she saw the children were all dead due to the treatment. She then tries to untie Eli, but the doctor claims that she can't let her son go that way, which would be definitely a blasphemy to God. While the dad manages to get the dagger from the panicking wife and gives it back to the doctor, actually the nun, who prepares for the final treatment. She prays and tells him that his sickness lies deep inside his soul. Those allergic reactions on him are the manifestations of his demonic abilities. And even though he's not done anything wrong right now, he will definitely do in the future. So they are all here to rescue his soul. After that, the nun holds the sacrificial dagger high up and tries to stab it into Eli's heart. To her surprise, her hand seems to be stopped by some unknown force and gets penetrated in her own body instead. Eli changes into a monster and frees himself easily from the table. As he screams out in rage, people inside are all knocked down instantly. He then uses his power to raise the 3 nuns into the air and set fire to them. Eli roars at his mom, asking what they just did to his body. Mom confesses that the medicines are used to prevent his body from changing, and she's eager for a son, so she turned to Satan, who however, lied to her that Eli would be a normal child. Right then the stepdad attempts to attack Eli from his back with a sacrificial dagger, but gets killed immediately. Eli bends down, grabs the cross from mom's neck, and throws it away. Seeing her mom in great sorrow, Eli comes to his sense slowly. He then walks out of the castle and sees the little girl, who reveals to him that they both are actually the illegitimate children of Satan, and that the 3 dead kids are also his half-blooded siblings, who are too weak to survive the sacred treatment. Eli asks her why she did not expose that to him earlier. She says their father only allows them to gain their own freedom, depending on their own strength instead of the help from others. Later, mom follows up and takes care of Eli, who's still puzzled by the truth. In the final scene, mom takes the 2 and vanishes in the dark in a car, heading to a remote place, where their same father is said to be. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Peace out.